presentation.
Yes. So, first, I just wanted to say thank you, everybody, for hopping on tonight, and especially thank you, Jessica, for taking time to do this Christmas market video with me. So I am excited because I realized that 2 years from today, we will be sailing on the Christmas Markets 2026 cruise. And I'm sure a lot of you have been following along. And if you have not, I just kind of want to brief you that we will be sailing on the beautiful Rhine River for Christmas Markets 2026 with AmaWaterways. And we will sail through, we will start in Amsterdam and then we will conclude in Basel, Switzerland. There are options that we can do, like a pre cruise and post cruise options. So we'll talk briefly about that again tonight as well. But it will be December 3rd. It will be our embarkation in Amsterdam, and that will be in 2026. So 2 years from today, pretty exciting stuff. So I decided that I really love Europe. A lot of you know that my niche is Europe and river cruising. So for me, I love the cultural aspect of Europe and everything about that. And with something like the Christmas markets, you are going to be completely enveloped in the European culture, the historical buildings, the beautiful twinkling lights, the holiday magic, and those seasonal festivities that they have in Europe that we don't really get here in the US. And so for me, it was just really a must kind of bucket list for me to go. So one of my best friends is going to be joining me on this cruise, and I will be there. I know some of you have asked me, so yes, I will be hosting this group. I will be on board with you. I will be having a lot of fun with all of you. So Jessica is going to help me tonight. She has actually sailed this itinerary a few times and fairly recently. So I really wanted to get her personal knowledge, and I wanted to share with all of you as we go through the itinerary and all the fun things that we're going to be doing on this trip. So Jessica?
Thank you. Thank you, Tara. So yes, I have been. I have been on Christmas markets a few times. And let me tell you, I love Christmas markets. I really, really do. It is such a beautiful time to travel to Europe. It is absolutely magical. So I can talk about Christmas markets all day. But what I really love the most about Christmas markets is that in my opinion, Christmas markets is an itinerary for the senses, right? The lights, the sounds, the smells of Christmas markets. Once you've been in Christmas markets, and you smell we'll talk about it in my presentation, but the smells, right? Because this is the time of year, it's not just tourists, it's the locals coming out because these are certain goodies that you only get at the Christmas market. So you'll have gingerbread, you'll have the glühwein, you'll have the chimney cakes, you'll have the different types of bratwurst, right? All this delicious food. And the locals, can you imagine you're just waiting for this bratwurst for all year, and the only time of year you can have it is during Christmas market. So it's such a beautiful time to travel. And then these small towns that we're visiting are already so picturesque and magical. And then once you add the magic of Christmas with the lights and the Santas and the Christmas trees, it just really becomes straight out of a fairy tale. So it's absolutely stunning. And it's one of the reasons why I love Christmas market so much. But let me share my screen and we'll get started
Sure.
with our presentation here. Share my screen. Oh, you have to give me access.
Oh, I thought I did. Okay. Is it the I don't know how to.
Because when I click on it here, it says host disabled. Oh, it's working now. There you go.
Okay.
There we go. Good.
Sorry, I thought I clicked it earlier.
Okay, let me know if you can see it. There we
Mhm.
go. It looks like it's working. Okay, can you see it?
I can.
Perfect, perfect. Okay. So my name is Jessica Benitez, and I am the Director of Strategic Partner Networks. I have been with AmaWaterways now for 15 years. This is my 15-year anniversary. I age myself by saying that. So when I graduated college, that was my first job out of college. So that's when people ask, like, what? How is it? So let me tell you, it's been 15 years. When I started with AmaWaterways, we had 4 ships. Now we have 28 ships sailing on the river. So it has been quite an experience. It has been such a fantastic experience, truly. When I started working with AmaWaterways, also, I think we had total of 50 people in our staff, and that included overseas, our Basel office, and now we have had 2 office changes later. We have 230 people in office, plus our Basel office, plus our UK office, and we have now a new Australia office. So it just goes to show how much we've grown in this time. I myself as well, right? 15 years later, here I am. I worked in reservations, I worked in the groups department, I worked with the charters department, and then we had an inside sales department. And then after that, I was got worked very closely with our director of field sales at the time. He was my mentor. And when he retired, I moved into the strategic networks, working hand on hand with our then director. And I worked with her for 2 years. And then the time came, they said, Jessica, spread your wings. It's time. Like, you're ready. And I almost felt that in the way I was being groomed, right? Unofficially groomed to come out as I learned so much about Alma Waterways and as I've experienced the product and I've seen the company go through, really from a smaller company with 4 ships to now 28 ships, it really has been a wonderful experience. And who would have thought when I started, your first real job out of college would have been the job or would have been the job. So I feel very fortunate, but also it's because it was with the right company and with the right people. And we'll talk about that. So first and foremost, thank you all for joining us today. I know it's chilly, I know it's dark, so it's a good thing that it's a virtual session that we have here. So let's start here with this quote I like to start with. The true beauty of travel lies in its ability to transform you, to make you see the world through new eyes and return home forever changed. And that is something that I do feel that when you have that Christmas market experience, it does change you a little bit because there's gonna be you're always gonna remember it so fondly, and Christmas will forever be changed once you experience it in Europe. Oh, that was not supposed to be there. That was later on. We're going to talk about our owners. We are proudly family owned and operated. AmaWaterways is, and here you can see our owners, Mr. Rudy Schreiner, our president and co-founder, his beautiful wife Kristen Karst, and the wonderful Gary Murphy. Rudy's the one with the glasses. So Rudy was born in Vienna, Austria, along the Danube River. Rudy is known as the godfather of river cruising. And the reason he is known as the godfather of river cruising is because before he launched Alma Waterways, he worked at various river cruise lines. And if you've done research on river cruise lines, you may notice that the biggest ones are all probably within 5 to 10 miles of each other. And people ask why? Why are they all in California, Southern California, and within 5 to 10 miles of each other? Because that's where Rudy was. So Rudy started these companies, and that's where he was, and that's where the company started. As a young man, Rudy grew up in Vienna, Austria, along the Danube River. So he knew it would be such a great way to travel. Even as a young man, he knew it was such a great way to travel. But in the 1990s, modern day river cruising was born with the build of the Rhine Danube Canal, because now you really could cruise from Amsterdam all the way down to the Black Sea. And Rudy was, at that time, he was probably in his early 40s, and he knew that that was such a great way to travel. So he was working for a tour company, and they asked him to put together an itinerary through Central Europe, and he did so on the river, the first of the kind. When river cruising started, he had 200 guests, and within 3 years, he had over 3,000 guests. And again, this was all with another company. Then he moved on to a different company. He launched their river cruise product, and then AmaWaterways LLC was born on July 1st, 2002 was the birth of AmaWaterways LLC. So you probably guessed it. He did have a non-compete that he for a while. He had a non-compete. So that's why July 1st, 2002, at midnight, 12:01 a.m., AmaWaterways was born. He was ready. He had launched enough river cruise lines for other people. He was ready. The time was now. And he wanted to do river cruising his way. And that's what makes AmaWaterways so special is that we constantly are always looking for what the guests want. We are known for our innovation in the industry, right? We always say that imitation is the most sincerest form of flattery. And one thing you can see that our fellow cruise lines do, it's because we did it first. Once we do it, then the others jump in line. So that's Rudy for you. He's also an architect by trade, and he actually personally designs our ships. And one of the things that's a beautiful story is that when he built our very first river cruise ship, Amadagio, selected the carpet, he selected the wallpaper, he selected the color scheme. Like he would go at that time we had 5 people in the office. Do you like this color scheme? Do you like this color scheme? And that time they flew our small office of 5 people to the launch of our very first ship, the Amadagio. And they say that when you stepped into the lobby and Rudy got to see his dream, right? His masterpiece in person, his eyes teared up a little bit. And everyone's at the point at that office because everyone felt that they had contributed to the very first ship that we had. And right next to him is the beautiful Kristen Karst. She was born in Dresden, Germany, along the Elbe River. And her very first job as a teenager was a tour guide in the Black Forest. So, one of the things, you would think that travel is really in our blood, right? Rudy was born in Vienna, Austria. Christine was born in Dresden, along the river. And then you have Mr. Gary Murphy. Mr. Gary Murphy, who his father, Mr. Jimmy Murphy, was the founder of Brendan Tours. Brendan Tours is very popularly known for their trips to Ireland. Mr. Jimmy Murphy is from Ireland. He came to America with $25 in his pocket, and half of that was owed. So he had a friend back home in Ireland, and the deal was to come to America, you had to have $25 in hand. He had half, and the deal was that once he got to America, he would send his half back so his friend could also travel to the United States. His first job in travel was in Cunard Cruises as in the mailroom as a mailboy. And then from that, he founded Brendan Tours, and from that, he also became the chairman of AmaWaterways. So you can really see that travel is in our blood. It's what we do. It's really the essence of what we do from the beginning. We have strong ties to Europe, and that is really one of the things I think makes us very special. And here you can see all of our ships. So the world of AmaWaterways, right? You can see that we're growing at a nice and steady pace, about 1 ship a year, then we go to 2 ships a year. This allows us to keep the the AmaWaterways product to the high standard. We have a very high standard of product. We have excellent staff. We have excellent captains. This really allows us to make sure that the quality is at the AmaWaterways standard as we've grown. AmaWaterways has received various awards from the Berlitz. Berlitz Guide. Berlitz Guide is a secret, it's like a secret shopper. They come on board, they don't tell you when, and they actually rated 268 river cruise ships. And AmaWaterways was in the top 10. And that was multiple of our ships. We were not all at the top 10, but we were in the top 10. So out of all the ships and all the lines, AmaWaterways had the top in there. And here is the world of AmaWaterways. And here's what I was telling you about earlier, the Rhine Danube Canal. Amsterdam here, which is you're going to be starting your trip. You go down to Basel, and now with the build of the Rhine Danube Canal, you can go from Amsterdam all the way down here to the Black Sea. So here you can see the world of AmaWaterways, the Rhine very popular, the Danube very popular. We go through the lower Danube, which is down to the Black Sea. We are in France. We are in Portugal. We are in Asia on the Mekong. We are in Africa in the Chobe River. And we are in Egypt on the Nile. And new to AmaWaterways, we are going to be going to Colombia. Colombia on the Magdalena River. We are the only river cruise line in Magdalena River. And why is this? Again, because of Rudy. Rudy is the man with a visionary, right? He's a pioneer of river cruising. So I always think that if Rudy would have been born 100 years ago, he would be a pioneer like Lewis and Clark, just exploring the world and discovering places. Because when he goes somewhere and he loves it, he will put together a product. Like he was in South America He was in the Magdalena River, on the Magdalena River with Christine. They sailed for 500 miles on the Magdalena River to put together this beautiful itinerary. In fact, our itinerary in Africa on the Chobe River was Rudy and Christine's honeymoon. It was their honeymoon on the Chobe River, and they loved it so much that they said, "We have to have a product here. This is such a beautiful destination. We have to put something together for our guests." And again, one of the things we do is because at AmaWaterways, we have such loyal guests that they want to come back again and again. We got to make sure we keep things interesting for them, right? We have to have new itineraries for them to try. So we want to have the options for our guests to explore the world, one river at a time. So, what makes river cruising special? River cruising is truly such a fantastic way to travel. I have to say it. I love river cruising. If there was more rivers, I would love to travel them even more. On my first trip to Italy, there was the Po River, and so when I got back, I asked Rudy, like, Rudy, why are we not sailing on the Po River? And he said, Po River is unreliable. We cannot sail there. But that's because I love river cruising so much. It's such a great way to travel. And the reason for it is because for those of you who are new to river cruising, I always tell people if ocean cruising and land touring had a baby, it would be river cruising, the best of both worlds. You get to unpack once, your floating hotel is going with you everywhere you go, but you get to see as much, if not more, that you would on a bus tour. So you get to see, you wake up in the morning, you go see a city, you go on a city tour, you come back, you have a beautiful lunch, then you can set sail to the next destination. And then in the evening, sometimes we overnight, you can go out into town. So you get to see as much and you don't have to worry about packing, repacking. You don't have to worry about being on the bus because you're on the river cruise ship. So then you can be up on the sun deck taking photos. You can be enjoying the scenery. You can be having lunch. You could take a siesta if you want. It just really maximizes your leisure time. And also, because we are the experts in the destination, we're going to give you more time where you want it, and we're going to give you enough time in the smaller towns. For
So just
example, yes,
I was gonna say, if you don't mind interrupting, like the one thing that I really enjoy about what you were just saying is how easy it is to get on and off the ship versus
yes,
an ocean cruise liner is just being able to just walk off the gangway. That's it. You walk off
exactly.
and you're
And
usually right there
literally,
in town.
yes, literally within 5 minutes, not even 10 minutes. 5 minutes, you can be from your stateroom to land. That's it. You don't
Mhm,
have to tender, no long lines. I mean, we're talking about 156 people. So
mhm.
you just walk right off, you're right in town, and also again, walk into town. After your city tour, you have free time. You can walk back. You can stay in lunch for a city tour. You can do some shopping. You really get to maximize your time. It's your vacation. Really focus on where your interests lie. And also, and I'll talk about this later as well, but all of our excursions are included. So this is when we say oceans take you to countries, rivers take you through them. And it really is such a great way to see because also in Europe, remember that the rivers in Europe are the bloodline of Europe because lots of these towns, these old towns, they're UNESCO World Heritage Sites. They're hundreds of years old. They use the water as their water source. So castles, fortresses, abbeys, monasteries, they're all facing the river because the river is how they got their water. So it really is such a special way to see Europe. There's always something to see, right? On the river there's no ocean days, right? Sea days, SE as no SEA days, but there is SEE days because there's always something to see on either side of the river. My favorite place to be on board when we're navigating is up here where this lady is on the sun deck. I love to be up on the sun deck, especially in the morning with a cup of coffee, coming
Mhm.
into town, seeing the town wake up. It's just so peaceful. It's such a fantastic way to do it. So when you're on board, I recommend go up there one morning, or if you want to do it sun up or sunset. Sunset will also be beautiful. And along the river, there's so much activity. People jog, people run, people are with their dogs. You're gonna see a lot of activity along the river from the locals. Always something to see on the river, always something beautiful to see. We have fantastic service on board. We have our cruise managers. Our cruise managers are very experienced. They're experts in the region. They're with you from the very beginning to the very end. I think, and the great thing about that is that they'll be with you if you take the land package with us. They give you an orientation tour, which is really nice. You go out together and they can say, these are some nice restaurants. Here you can exchange some money. Here you can do some shopping. Just kind of give you an orientation so you know where you're at, right? This is the first time you've been here, but they've been there, right? So they can help you, they can guide you. They also have their very own desk in the lobby, so you really do have your very own personal concierge. On our land packages, about 50% of our guests will take the land package. So then in the land package, you'll be with your fellow guests, 150 people. So what, 75 people maybe at the hotel with you. You have that personal time with the cruise manager, whatever your interests are, whatever you want to know, they're there to help you. And they really, truly are fantastic. So
Mhm.
much so that our guests will say, oh, like for example, this one, his name is Luis. He's from Portugal. And they're like, oh, where's Luis going? Wherever Luis goes is where I want to go next. So, they become such close friends that people form a bond that they want to cruise with their specific cruise manager. And they're all
Mm,
great, but they have the special bonds.
they are.
We also have fantastic award-winning cuisine on board. We are members of the Sur. Sur is the world's oldest France's oldest gastronomical society by invitation only. So we are very proud to have our Sur membership. And we talked about the cruise managers. And so our shore excursions, we offer hiking tours, biking tours, tasting tours. We have, art tours. We have such a wide variety of excursions. And the great thing is that they are all included. Every single one, every tour you do on board is going to be included. Your vacation your way. You want to hike, you want to hike, you get spectacular views, you want to bike. The bike tours are included. We have our tour guide at the beginning. We have an anchor at the back, so you'll have a group of people with you. We have our tasting tours. One of my favorite excursions is waffles, chocolates, and beer. And that one is in Nijmegen. And I love it because you get to see the architecture, learn about the town, try 3 or 4 different beers, try chocolate from the oldest chocolate shop in town. And then, of course, we have Belgian waffles. That's a perfect day for me. That's all I
Mhm.
can ask for. But some people want to do the biking tour. Some people want to do the hiking tour. Some people want to go into the cathedrals. It's all available to you. That's the beautiful thing about river cruising is that you really get to decide what you do because it's all included. It's
Yeah.
all of it is there ready for you to enjoy.
I had on my, I think it was last spring on the Danube, we were considering one of the bike tours. And when we woke up to rain. And it was just so easy just to be able to walk into the lobby and say, okay, we're going to change our mind. We switched. And it was simple as that.
Exactly.
It
Yes.
was fine. Like, oh, I thought I was going to do this, but I don't want to now. So we're going to do this instead. I mean, it was so
Exactly.
easy.
Exactly. It's so easy, and especially for the for those bike tours. I know some people start off like, "I'm gonna do them every day," and then after that, like, "The wine tour looks really nice." That's definitely me. That's me. It's like, "The wine tour seems really nice. I wanna do that." But yes, you definitely have the flexibility. Again, your vacation your way. Whatever you feel like do. Whatever calls your fancy. Whatever you looks like it's the most interesting to you, because that's why we have that there. On any given day, we can be operating 8 different city tours. And that includes our morning excursions and our afternoon excursions, but we do have a wide variety of excursions available. And we do with local guides. So our guides are fantastic. They're local to the region. They'll be some of them are professors, especially if you go like during the summer or around Christmas time, you'll have professors that are off for school break. So they love to take people around their town. It's because they grew up there, right? So they have grew up there, they have family there, especially in the smaller towns, and they'll say like, I really love this, or this was my grandma's house, and this is the history story, and they tell you really interesting facts, not just history, but interesting, also traditions, and to again immerse yourself in the culture, immerse yourself in the local ways of the towns. Oops, give me a just why isn't it going to the next slide?
We had some of the best guides in our Oktoberfest when I was just in Germany for in September. Some of our guides were just unbelievably like the stories that they would tell us about the smallest details that you would never even consider. You walk by a building and you would think it's just another building, and it's something amazing. It was really great.
They really are great. Okay, so here we are. Okay, sip and sail. You also offer a sip and sail every day. A sip and sail is a 1 hour it's 1 hour happy hour open bar before dinner, which is lovely. It's a lovely way. It's a favorite time for many, not just because you get open bar, but because this is usually the time after we have our port talk. So everyone gets to talk about what they're going to do tomorrow, right? So after the port, every day we have a port talk with our cruise manager. The cruise manager will go over the next day. They'll go over the different tours, the different times the tours are departing, the different colors, because we break down our tours by colors. Are you the orange or the yellow or the red, the blue? And then everyone decides what they want to do. You have a nice cocktail. It's an hour before dinner. It's a lovely time. You talk about what
Mhm.
you did. You want talk about, someone might say, I went on the hiking tour and I loved it. That might encourage you to go on the hiking tour if you want. Or someone might have done the tasting tour and now you want to do that one. So you get to talk to your fellow travelers. And we talked about the land package. We offer a land package pre and post. It's a great way to travel with us. We talked about our cruise managers and really about that special connection. The lovely thing about being on a cruise this size is that you really have that personal connection with the cruise manager, with the captain, with the crew. They know you by name, they know where you're from, you get to know them. So you really have that time to connect and learn about them, learn about the destination. It really is a much more intimate overall experience. And here you can see one of our suites. And here's an example. You can see how close we are to the city center, right? How close we are, right? And how close the ships are. You dock right into town. I know this is not on your itinerary that you guys are doing, but
That's okay.
in France, when we're in Paris, I really did walk from the ship to the Eiffel Tower. I mean, that's how nice it is, like how close. And when we talk about stunning views, here you can see you will be going to Cologne. The ship is right there in Cologne. You can see the Cologne Cathedral so close from the ship. It's such a great destination that you see along the river. And also the great thing about river cruising is you have the grand capitals, the bigger cities that people think that you're so excited about. But then you fall in love with the smaller towns. Some of the smaller towns that you probably never even heard of. Or if you have heard of, it wasn't something that made your bucket list. And it's along the way so you'll go and that's where you'll fall in love with the beautiful town. So quaint, so picturesque, the great food, the great people. I mean, really is. Those small towns are just so quaint. It's just straight out of a storybook. You just want to stroll and shop and eat, and people watch all day. It's really, really the favorite of many. Also, we do have our wellness program on board that has yoga. We do something as simple as digestive walk after lunch. We have stretching classes. Sometimes we have Zumba classes. Sometimes we have water aerobics. We have different options, and we also have our wonderful onboard entertainment. And we do local entertainment. So it is local to the region. It could be folklore dancing. It can be a local performer. We have an onboard pianist, and we also have our theme parties as well. We have our specialty dining. Our specialty dining here is our chef's table restaurant. This is a 7-course tasting menu that is included, and it's also paired with a sommelier. So each course is paired with the wine that matches it. It's very nice. It's a favorite of many. And one thing I'm going to tell you, it's my tip for you is when you come on board, you make your reservation with the front desk, but do not worry, it doesn't fill up because this is a fixed menu. Every day it's going to be the same experience at the chef's table, whether it's on the first day or the last day. In the main dining, every day we have a different meal. So for example, in Vienna, we'll have Wiener Schnitzel. In Budapest, we'll have goulash. So you have the local meals. So don't set your chef's table restaurant for the captain's gala because on the captain's gala we're going to have our Scenderata Sour dinner, which is also a very lovely fancy dinner. So I recommend that you do chef's table one night and then keep your captain's dinner open so you can enjoy that Scenderata Sour dinner. So
Oh,
that way you
wait.
get two special evenings. All dinners are lovely, but those are extra special because for the Scenderata Sour, the crew dresses up in their regalia, and it's a very special meal.
Yeah. Goodness. I
And
love
this chef's
special.
table, It seats 24 to 28 people. So it's an intimate, it's a favorite of many. You can see that the chef is preparing the food there for you. It's fantastic. And of course, look at that view. You can't beat the view. It's if you're sailing anytime, but especially if you're sailing. And we also have complimentary Wi-Fi on all of your devices. We don't have a cap on that. And you have internet throughout the entire ship. We talked about the entertainment. And then so we talked about the bicycles. The bicycles are also there for you to use anytime that they're not being used as part of the tour. They're available if you'd like to take them out for a ride. We can cater to your dietary restrictions. We can cater to all dietary restrictions except for kosher. And the reason we can't do kosher is because of the size of the kitchen. But everything else, you let us know what you need, and we will add that to the booking. We can take care of you. We have a wonderful pool, and the pool is heated. The pool is heated. So if you want to come bring your bathing suit, come on board. Getting in is going to be fine. Getting out is usually is usually the problem. But I have to say, last time, 2 years ago, 2 years ago, I was on board during New Year's for a New Year's cruise, and it was actually really warm. So I'm from California. I think you are from California as
Yeah.
well. It is, we do not do well with cold. So I had all my heavy coats and my thermals and just all the heaviest clothes I can find. And I didn't need it. I didn't need it. I was wearing a t-shirt and my jacket because it was pretty warm for all the stuff that I had. Even my feet were so hot because I had thick socks and heavy shoes. So yes, the weather, it's Christmas time, right? But it's not as cold as people think it is. Just, you bring your layer so you can take on or take off the layers. So now the star of the show, Christmas markets, right? Here's a beautiful picture of the Christmas markets. And here, she has her boot mug. I have my boot mug here. You can see it too. So
Um,
these mugs, you can collect them at the Christmas markets. So if you come to the Christmas markets, leave a little extra space in your luggage for these mugs because one, they'll be Glühwein. So Glühwein is a very popular during the Christmas markets. It's a nice mulled wine. And that's one of the scents that you'll smell when you walk into the Christmas markets because the herbs are mulling together. And so you get to try mulled wine and or you could have hot chocolate or a hot toddy. One of my favorite hot chocolates too has brandy in it. You put brandy in it in your hot chocolate. Schnapps, you'll be your friend, rum punch all over the place. So you get I think it's €5 for the mug and the hot chocolate or whatever you get inside. And then if you give the mug back, they'll give you €2 back. So a lot of people end up keeping them as a souvenir. It has the name of the Christmas market, and sometimes it has the year on there as well. So you can bring them with you. So I have one here from one. I have this one was a different one. Can you see it? So you have different ones that you
cute.
collect throughout. It's a special time. It's one of the special treats that you have. It's very original to the Christmas market because each one has different, just like each mulled wine is different, and each market has their specialty. So will be their mug along the way.
I think I'm just
But
gonna do my Christmas shopping there.
yes,
I'll bring an
exactly.
extra
And you'll
piece of
find
luggage, and then I'll just buy
yes.
Christmas
And then
gifts
if you're
that
gonna do
year.
that, also bring a lot of people bring bubble wrap so they can keep
Ooh,
their Christmas findings nice and they don't break. Because a lot of these are handicrafts, artisans,
yeah.
the old they make them with the wood and the carvings. Like it's very delicate and it's really an art form that you get to see the cuckoo clocks. People love to
Mhm.
see that. Great, beautiful ornaments. That's definitely something you can do on during the Christmas markets. And the great thing about your group too is that you have it early in December. So you
Mhm.
have time to enjoy Christmas markets and then come back and spend time with your family. It's a
Exactly.
very popular time that you chose. You chose the ideal ideal time.
Thank you. I try.
So I kind of gave this one away, but so we had a little trivia. Tara wanted me to include a little bit of trivia here for you.
Yes.
So the question is, what is the name of the popular Christmas drink many European countries typically made with mulled wine, spices, and citrus fruits? What's the
Glug,
name? Did you say it, Yvonne?
glug.
Gl-
Oh,
uh, it's Glühwein. Close.
It's close, yeah.
Yeah, so it's Glühwein, yes, it's Glühwein, and that's the one that you usually see, in these mugs that they have, the Glühwein, and there's red Glühwein and there's white Glühwein, and, each stall has them a little bit different. Some of them you can pay for an extra, buy an extra shot of brandy or rum in there to add into your mulled wine. That's one of the things, and the Christmas markets, I say, you get warm from the inside out when you're trying the mulled wine or the brandy chocolate, hot chocolate. So that's Glühwein. Okay. Oh, I don't know if I'll be able to see the video. Should I try to play it or no? So let me know if you can see it.
Sure. Yeah.
Can you hear it?
No.
To your
Oh,
holidays. At
yes.
AmaWaterways, we're proud to have the most decorated ships on the rivers in Europe. But the only thing that sparkles brighter than Christmas lights are the welcoming spirit of the crew that you arrive on board. The European Christmas markets are such a wonderful tradition in grand cities like Vienna, Budapest, Cologne, and Strasbourg along the storied Rhine and Danube rivers. Be enchanted by these charming markets brimming with color and lights, as the aroma of hot mild wine and gingerbread fills the air, and lovely handicrafted ornaments shine from the Christmas market booths. You won't want to miss the unique charm of the smaller holiday markets along the Rhone rivers in the south of France and the Douro River in Portugal. Each serves up a warm welcome along with their local traditions and delicious holiday treats. The immersion of the holiday magic continues on board with our own enchanting decor and festive events like tree trimming, Christmas caroling, cookie decorating, and even the visit of old St. Nicholas. Join us to celebrate your holidays in true European style aboard a Christmas market cruise with AmaWaterways.
I love that. Oh, that was beautiful.
The beautiful video. And one of the things you can see is we're very proud to have one of the most beautiful decorated ships on the river. It really truly is. When
I've
you
heard you
walk
can
on
see the
board,
ships, I've heard you can see them,
yes, you
from
can see
the
them coming from
walkways,
afar away.
all the
Exactly.
cruise ships will be lined up and everybody's like, "There's my ship."
Exactly right. So, and then if you see another one sailing by with lights, you know it's another one of ours because that's one of the things. I'm like, there's one of our ships, and we were so far away. They're like, how do you know? I'm like, look at the lights. I'm like, that's how I know. Look at the lights.
So
Um,
did they say that they do the tree decorating on board? Is that what you
Yes,
said?
we do. We have a tree trimming party on board. So we have a tree trimming party on in the lounge.
Oh,
We have three different trees, and you break up into three different teams, and then everyone gets to decide. And you usually have about like 10 or 15 minutes to decorate, and then everyone decides who has the best one. So one of the fun things. We have tree trimming party. We also have carols one night that we'll sing Christmas carols. We have a visit, he said, from St. Nicholas. St. Nicholas comes on board one night. And then we also do we make gingerbread cookies. So the gingerbread cookies are made by the chef, but we get to decorate them. We do
fun.
get to decorate them, but you also get to see lots of beautiful, fantastic gingerbread cookies along the way at the Christmas markets. Everything you can imagine type of gingerbread is very popular. Yeah, the Christmas stolen. There's so many traditional pastries. So here you can see we have the tree trimming party. We have
Oh,
St. Nicholas come on board. We have the beautiful gingerbread making, and then you can see here. Look at how beautiful the ship looks when you celebrate Christmas on board. So the wonderful thing about the Christmas market with Alma Waterways, it's not just the Christmas markets off the ship, but the whole Christmas experience on the ship one night. Because one day also, so the night that St. Nicholas comes, the tradition in Europe is that you get to leave your shoe out for St. Nicholas. And if you're good, you get a treat. And if you're bad, you get a twig in your slipper or in your shoe, whatever it is that you you put out there. So the next morning you get to open the door and you see what you find. And I am happy to say that our guests have yet to be naughty because no one has yet gotten a twig in their slipper in their slipper. But
do
so
you hear
these are
that,
the
Scotty?
stuff.
I hope you don't get a twig.
Yeah, so Scott, I don't know, Scotty, if you're naughty enough, you might get a twig in there. That'll be interesting. The first guest.
Tell me
Um,
to talk to Saint Nicholas to talk about Scotty.
okay, I think Scotty, I think that means your twig is for sure is coming for sure. Um, so see, we talked about really Christmas is just so special on board. And then the wonderful food on board. So I had mentioned the chimney cake. So these are the chimney cakes here. They're so good. They make them on an open chimney, on an open flame. They rotate over. You have the mulled wine. We have a beautiful Christmas dinner. You can see the stolen cake, the glue vine, and then the bratwurst. So you have lots of different foods that you can enjoy on the ship, and you can enjoy off the ships at the Christmas markets. So, there's also a very popular in Cologne, a big, big potato pancake. It's huge. It's like it's like almost the size of a pizza. Not a full like a large pizza, but maybe a small pizza, a small pizza. So, I mean, all the food you can discover at the Christmas markets is really a treat. And because it's extra special because you can only get it this time of year.
Did you
So
have
here's
the
a question.
Rudolph coffee?
Oh, the
Did
Rudolpheimer
you have
coffee. Yeah. So
did
the
you have it?
Rudolpheimer coffee, I have a slide on it later, but the Rudolpheimer coffee is a special coffee that they make with a special Rudolpheimer rum. And the way that they do it, so you can have a Rudolpheimer coffee or a Rudolpheimer hot chocolate. And what they'll do
Mm.
is that they light it so that when they pour the rum into the coffee, first they light it up on fire. And then, so you get to have your very special Rudolpheimer coffee, and we do that as a night excursion. So after we have dinner, we go off the ship and we experience the Rudolpheimer experience, the Rudolpheimer coffee experience. It's lots of fun. There's singing involved, and you enjoy your Rudolpheimer coffee or hot chocolate. So it's very special. People really enjoy it. So and then we also have Rudolpheimer coffee when we're going through the Rhine Gorge, and I'll talk about that later on. So we have another trivia question here for you all. What is the origin of the Christmas tree tradition? And it should have been where. Does anyone know where the origin of the Christmas tree tradition started?
Germany.
Yes, Rachel, you got it. It did. Germany in the 16th century. Congratulations. I didn't think you were gonna anyone would know that one. Yes, exactly right. Germany in the 16th century.
Well done.
Yeah. Okay, so here we'll talk about the Christmas markets on the Rhine. So starting with Cologne, Germany, one of the biggest Christmas markets. It's beautiful, right outside the cathedral. It is absolutely stunning. It's one of the larger showstopper Christmas markets. And something special that we do at AmaWaterways too is that you get a coupon when you go into the Christmas market, so you can buy either mulled wine if you like, or you can buy a hot chocolate, or you can buy something from the Christmas markets. I think it's something special so you can really feel like you are, truly part of the experience that we do. And also, of course, so you get and remember that when you're doing the Christmas markets, it's not just the Christmas markets. You also get a tour of Cologne. You get to go into the cathedral. The guide will be with you going through the cathedral, explaining the history. There's beautiful stained glass, windows, and you get to go inside and really experience. So you get to do everything you would have done in Cologne, but you end in the Christmas markets. That's the difference. So you're really adding on to the experience because again, we have all these wonderful tours for you to experience. And at the end of that, you decide, okay, I've seen so you, instead of just having free time, you get to have free time at the Christmas markets. And the ship is so close from Cologne Cathedral that to the ship, you can see it and you can walk back and forth if you like. You can stay in town. A lot of people in Cologne will do the Christmas market in the morning and then come out after dinner again to see it at night. Because one of the things you have to do this is you have to go out at night and experience the Christmas markets because that's when they really do light up and they're just breathtaking. Heidelberg is a college town, and we get to go into the castle here, the castle ruins. So again, we start with the castle ruins. We go up, so the bus will drop you off right at the top, and then you get a tour of the inside of the castle and the ruins, and you learn about the history. And then you can either walk down the stairs, take the steps over 100 steps to walk down back into the city, or you can take a bus down, and both will end at the Christmas market. So again, you have that beautiful experience of learning about Heidelberg and learning about the history, learning about, Heidelberg is a college town. Heidelberg is known for a chocolate that's called the Kiss. It's a secret. So it's a secret kiss and it has a silhouette of a gentleman and a lady. And it's a kiss because that's how they said that when it was a college town for young gentlemen, they would give a lady that they liked this chocolate and that in hopes of getting a kiss. So it's called the Kiss. That's a famous chocolate known in Heidelberg. And you get to learn all that plus the magic of Christmas markets. So Heidelberg is such a beautiful town. I mean, look, going into the castle, Heidelberg also has the largest wine barrel in all of Germany. So just so you know, it's huge. It's like the size of it's bigger than someone's car. It's probably bigger than someone's RV. It's huge size wine barrel inside the castle, if you wanted to know. So there's so many great things to see in the castle. I mean, also you have, some furniture in there that's still the original furniture. Really, really beautiful. Riquewihr, France. So Riquewihr, France is such a cool town. It's a small little town. It's actually the inspiration for one of the scenes in Beauty and the Beast. So for those of you who've seen the movie and are familiar with it, Beauty and the Beast, the animated version. So in the animated version, when Belle, one of the at the beginning of the movie, where she's reading, and they're saying that she's an unusual girl, and she's reading, and the sheep come and they rip a page out of her book around the fountain. That's the inspiration that was in Riquewihr. And we get to visit that same fountain and that same, provincial town that she's talking about. It's such a neat town in general, but then when you add the magic of Christmas markets, it's absolutely stunning. This area in France is called the Alsace region. And the Alsace region is very interesting in history because it has the beauty of France, but it has the functionality of German. Because every 50 years, this Alsace region went from being German or French, German or French. So our guide actually said that her grandma she had never moved. She always lived in her home, but she had 3 passports from when she was born. Then went from, like, I think she was born French, then became German, and then back to French. So it's a really neat town because you get to learn about the history here.
Jessica, my grandmother, I traced my family heritage. My grandmother was raised there when it was Alsace-Lorraine. So it was initially,
Oh,
she was born under French rule, but when the family moved, they were under German rule. So
see,
she knew French
exactly.
and German.
Exactly. French and
So
German,
going
exactly.
there is going to mean a lot to me.
That's going to be really special. It really will be very special for you. And the beauty about it is that, the French designed the architecture to be beautiful, right? To be beautiful and to look like art. That was the French goal. But the Germans was to be functional. So you
Mhm.
have these beautiful, beautiful houses on the outside, but the functionality on the inside, like plumbing, electricity, the city, the way it just was designed was very functional. So that's what's so special about these destinations. And Strasbourg, let me tell you, one of my favorite places. Strasbourg is just such a magical town. There's a river, like a little river running through it. Absolutely stunning. Such a great place in general. But now when you add the Christmas markets, again, if you're going to come out at night, and I recommend you come out at night, Strasbourg is not one to miss. You will absolutely love it. Strasbourg is, if you follow on social media, they have the teddy bear house where
Mhm.
they have a house that has a timberwood house with just teddy bears all over decor. And that's when you're going to find it in Strasbourg. Strasbourg is also a larger town, so great for shopping. And this is one of my actually favorites. It's the second largest town after Cologne, but one of my favorite towns is Strasbourg. And then Colmar, that's where you are, Tara. That's the background of your
That's my
of your
background.
Christmas markets. And see, just look at the decor that each house has and each business house. So the houses have different themes. It's just so beautiful, absolutely stunning to walk around town during this time of year and learn about the history and learn and go into the cathedrals, try all the great food. It really is such a fantastic, I really is one of my, I'm telling you again, one of my favorite times to go to Europe. And then Basel, Switzerland. So Basel, Switzerland, you guys will be ending in Basel, Switzerland. It has a
Mhm.
small Christmas market in there. It's one of the smaller ones, but sometimes, those are the favorite ones. I still like the big ones. I like the big showstopper one. I like the big showstopper ones. But when you had those big showstopper ones with a lot of people, you really enjoy and appreciate the smaller ones when you can talk to the vendors and their family and what they make and how proud they are to present their handicrafts to you, which is really nice. Our head office is at our Basel office is in Basel. So our office in Europe for operations is in Basel, Switzerland. We fly under the Swiss flag. And from our office, they say that they can see all our ships come in. So if you're in Basel, one of our AMA HQ people might come on because they come on every so often to see the ship to make sure all the Christmas decorations are the way that they like. So that's the most
That would be
frequented by our
fun.
staff.
That would be fun.
So, and then my last question for you all is in the Netherlands, what is the name of the gift giving um, person who visits children on December 5th, leaving presents in shoes? Okay, well, this one, we talked about St. Nicholas, but in the Netherlands, they don't call him St. Nicholas. They call him Sinterklaas. But the same idea, it's on December 6th. So on December 6th is when children start getting gifts. So it's really neat that we get to learn about the different traditions that Europe has. So this was not supposed to show, but so thank you all. We learned about the Christmas markets. I hope that if you have any questions for me about Christmas markets, about what to pack, I know for Rachel, Yvonne, this is a time to bring out your most beautiful hats and scarves. I think I personally like something with a little glam up here, a little bedazzle. But if you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer any questions. If you have any questions for Tara on her group, Tara and I did check before we started to see how inventory was on her group. It's 46% sold and it's 2 years out. So Tara did the right thing by taking her group space early. Tara already knew. She knew that if you want to get ideal peak season travel, she wanted her get the very best for her group. She did it early.
Thank you. I do have a couple quick questions that I wanted to ask you if you have a few more minutes, Jessica.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so I want to kind of share with them what would be the way that AMA does their pre and post cruise land options. So I know we started in Amsterdam, and I chose this purposefully because I know Amsterdam is such an important and fun cultural city where there's lots to do. So we get a couple days when we start in Amsterdam to be able to do the canal cruises. But if somebody wants to do the pre cruise for 2 days in Amsterdam, can you kind of walk them through like what AMA does if they decide to extend their holiday either pre or post is going to be Lake Lucerne
Lucerne and
and
Zurich,
2 days in Zurich.
yes. So for Amsterdam, we do have a lovely, if you've never been to Amsterdam, I would definitely extend because Amsterdam has such a big city, cultural city. You have Van Gogh Museum, you have the other larger
And Frank.
museum. I'm calling it Reg. Pronouncing it
Oh,
incorrectly.
Reykjavik.
The Rijksmuseum. Yeah, so we have
Rijksmuseum.
the Rijksmuseum. We have the Rijksmuseum, right? You have the old town of Netherlands. There's so really is a great town. I would definitely if you don't have time for the 2 nights, I would definitely at least come in one day early. What we would do when you take the land package with us, we have the cruise managers there, which is fantastic. We have our city tour in the morning. And then we also will do we'll transfer you to the ship with all your luggage. Your luggage is taken and is taken to the ship for you. We have breakfast, so we have porterage. All that's included for you. And then if you take the airfare with us, we have your arrival transfer and your departure transfer that would be included as well. One thing to note is if you're taking the airfare with us and the land package, it would be the full package. So it would be air, 2-night pre, and then the post, or air, no pre, cruise start date, and then cruise end date if you don't want any land. So you can't break up the packages. That's sometimes people ask about that. Oh, well, like especially at the end, Lucerne and Zurich. Oh, well, I don't have time for 4 nights. Can I do 2 nights? You can, absolutely you can, but then you're deviating from the package and then the return transfer is no longer included. I think that if you're going to do Amsterdam, definitely one night pre. And then I would if you're already over there, Lucerne and Zurich, people absolutely love it. Such a beautiful, keep the fairy tale going, right? Keep the fairy
Yes.
tale going. You'll be going into Switzerland and really getting a feel for Switzerland. Lucerne is just, Mount Lucerne, completely out of a fairy tale storybook. And then you have Zurich, which is a larger town. So Lucerne is a smaller, quaint, and then you have a big city, more of a metropolitan city. So I would definitely recommend doing the package. Gotta take the train. Again, you're with the group. You have a city tour included. You have the orientation tour included, and your breakfast will be included. It really is. When a lot of people will say, I'm already over there. I've invested in my airfare. And people are like, if I'm investing in my airfare, I want to spend the 2 extra nights or the 4 extra nights. And I would definitely recommend to you. You've done it. You've committed. Let's take the land package. And
Right.
if you don't want to take it with us, that's fine. But for your experience, I would definitely recommend. And then always recommended to come in at least one night early for peace of mind, for your peace of mind. Traveling, we know we can't always trust the airlines with certain things to get us where we want to be when we want to be. So you want to give yourself that time, even if it's just as a buffer, so you can settle. Yes, it's great you settle with the time frame, but also to make sure you don't want to miss a ship or anything like that. You don't want to stress yourselves out.
So the pre-cruise, I made some notes because I absolutely love the pre and post. Again, another reason why I chose this specific itinerary. But when we started in Amsterdam, I was there in March, and one of the places. So not only will we get to do the walking tour, but they take you to Zanzeshans, and I was able to experience that while I was there on my own. I was out there for the River Cruise Expo, and then I took some time to explore Amsterdam on my own, knowing I wanted to come back. And Zanzeshans was it's a little windmill town, very charming. Residents still live there. I know that I've shared a lot of my photos of the time I was there with my clients. And then, of course, you have the canal cruises, you have the Anne Frank Museum, everything that Jessica was talking about. Those are just the things that you will get time to do if you were to come in a few days before the cruise, to really kind of enjoy Amsterdam and all the things that it has to offer. And then in Lake Lucerne, I thought it was wonderful that they actually have it said there's a cable car trip that goes up Mount Rigi, and there's also a Lake Lucerne cruise on the lake. And then
Yes.
you get a chance to actually experience one of the Christmas markets in Zurich. So I just thought those would be wonderful ways to extend, if anybody's interested, like you said, in really making the most of their time during the time that they're out there in Europe for the cruise. So I really liked, I fell in love with Amsterdam myself, and I have yet to visit Lake Lucerne in Zurich. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, so.
And
So
then one thing is that yes, because in Amsterdam, you're right. If you don't take the extra time, you wouldn't be able to see that town because it's a little further out. And it would be great to see the windmills, right? That's what Amsterdam is known for, the Netherlands, right? The ingenuity and the engineering techniques of the Dutch, right? The Dutch waterworks.
Yeah. Did you have a question, Rachel?
I do. The post cruise, is it also 2 days
The
after?
post cruise, it's 4 nights. 2 of them are in Lake Lucerne, and then 2 are in Zurich.
Oh, okay.
2 here and 4 there.
No, the pre-cruise is Amsterdam, and that's just 2 days, correct?
Yes.
And then post-cruise is 4 nights, 2 and 2 at Lucerne and Zurich.
Yes.
Okay, got
That
it.
is correct. So it would basically, if the cruise itself, we embark December 3rd, 2026. But if you did the 2 nights pre in Amsterdam, we would then you would be coming in on the 1st to start everything. So I would probably say, look at coming in maybe those last couple days of November to fly in. And then if you did the post, that would be December 10th through the 14th. of December. So you'd still be back within those first couple weeks of December, if that helps with dates.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Of course. Of course.
And then guys had mentioned something like the cruise ends in Switzerland, or does it end in Lucerne?
Ends in Basel. It ends in Basel, Switzerland.
Yeah, the cruise itself will end in Basel, Switzerland. And if you decide to do the post, then on the day that we disembark, you'll get to do a few of the tours, and then they'll transport to your cruise manager will go with you to Lake Lucerne, and then you'll start that part of your post right after.
Okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So the other thing that I was going to mention too is not only do we have a great savings right now with the AmaWaterways early bird savings, but I'm sure you guys saw me talking about it quite a bit, but I have, for the first 4 people that book, I have some discounts myself. It's a discount on your deposit. So it would be, it's $200 deposit, I believe. And then there's an additional 5% from me on top of the savings already. So those first 4 people are going to get the opportunity for stacking up those savings. And really all you need at this point to secure your stateroom is to decide which type of stateroom you would like, what you would like to do as far as if you want the pre, the post, just the cruise, and then we would just work together to put in your deposit. And then we have about, I think we have until September of 2026 before the cruise needs to be paid in full. So we're talking over 20 months. A long time. Long time. So, and that's the exciting part.
Is it $200 per person for deposit?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. And so we do have a lot of people that will do solo travelers. So with something especially like Christmas, if there's somebody who wants to travel solo, we do have solo special pricing that I can get for you. We also have the rooms, they're double occupancy for the most part. I do believe, Jessica, help me, on the Sienna, is there a few triple occupancy rooms, correct?
Yes. We do could have some triple occupancy, yes. And we also have connecting staterooms as well.
Yeah. So that's always a possibility. Now, again, the availability, it goes quickly. So I will make sure, I'm going to actually put my link for the Christmas markets into our chat. I know you guys have it, and I know you have full accessibility to me at all times, but I'm going to put the link here.
And I just wanted to add that Terra got the 5% discount because she was on board with us previously. So this is usually something exclusively only to past guests. So to guests that are on board. So this 5% discount combinable with the retail, the discount that you have for your group is exclusive to Terra. And it's something that once those 4 are gone, they're gone. Once they're 4 are gone, they're gone. So you don't want someone else to take it from you. And if you're interested, it's definitely a great deal. It's a great deal that she has for you.
And I'm gonna work it out. Scotty and Rachel would like to book. Yay! I'm so excited. Like I said, I'm gonna be on board with our group. So I already am working closely with my group coordinator to arrange a few extra special things just for our group to be able to try and do on board. I know that our Christmas itinerary is gonna be pretty busy, going from markets to markets and all the other wonderful things that I want everybody to be able to enjoy on your own vacation. But I will be doing a few little extra things on board for just our group exclusively. So that is going to be another exciting thing to look forward to as well. So, okay, so I think we're only just a couple minutes over, but I think we did pretty well, Jess. What do you think?
I think we did. I think we did.
High
So
five.
thank you all. Thank you all for joining us today. Thank you for your time this evening. And I really do hope to welcome you all on board on Christmas markets with Terra, or maybe on Terra's next group. No, Christmas market first, but maybe if you want to do a group in 25, Terra, Oh, well, join. They'll come in 25 too.
I
But we
want to
would
do a
love to have you.
2025. You know, the one I really want it. Well, there's a few I actually really want. Who am I joking with? But I want to do the Colors of Provence.
Well, Colors of Provence is really beautiful. It's fantastic.
And eventually Egypt and Africa.
Yeah, that's so I got to go to Egypt in May. It was definitely out of this world. It was truly, truly, it's hard to choose a favorite, but Egypt is definitely up there. And Africa is at the top of my list. So I agree with you. I agree with you, Tara. I agree with all of your choices.
Yeah, I had Christine Karst actually said, she looked right at me, she put her hand on my shoulder and she said, you need to go to Egypt. And then when I saw Alex a few months ago, he was like, you need to go to Africa. I was like, oh, give me some time. Give me some time. So, well, Jessica, I really appreciate it. And everybody else, thank you so much for tuning in for this hour. I am so glad that you were all on with me. It means a lot. And absolutely, Yvonne, I'm happy to answer questions. Brenda, Rachel, Scotty, Yvonne, anybody else that's watching this recording, I'm happy to be able to answer any questions. And if I don't know the answer, I will, of course, reach out to Jessica and get the answers for you right away. And I will also be doing my little giveaway. I have a fun little AmaWaterways gift that I'm going to do a little picker drawing for. And so I will make sure to announce that as well and get that gift out to everybody. So, all right.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You guys have a